Hello, and welcome to my beginning series for City of Heroes. And this is Pan's Folly. I have recorded several recordings in the past for City of Heroes, both when it was live during the 2004 to 2007, I believe, 2008, somewhere right around there. I had done some recordings of gameplay, and then again started recording when the uh, Welcome Home servers went live and had done some recordings there. Unfortunately, Homecoming has restricted all those, so I've had to pull all of those down. And now that I have found Rebirth Server, they seem to be allowing me to go ahead and record. I've watched others being able to record off of Rebirth, and so I was excited to be able to get started. So here we go. I have created this series that'll be called Solo Controllers. When I was playing live, I did a lot with the controllers. I had an Ice Storm controller that I played quite frequently, and then of course my autism got the better of me, and I started playing other types of controllers. And then when the City of Villains came out and introduced the Dominators and the Masterminds, I started playing those as well and really enjoyed them. So had created some videos for those as well, and got really good at it. I really like playing them, and they're a lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and do this playthrough. I have created today a character. He's technology controller. His name is Temporal Flame, and he is going to be fire control with time manipulation. And we're going to go ahead and start with the tutorial. Now I'm going to go ahead and enter into the Heroes tutorial. I know that the natural or neutral one lets you pick or choose between hero or villain, but I like to get the um, extra experience off of this one if I can. So I'm going to go ahead and complete the creation and jump right in. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and do some setups for him, and a couple of things we're going to fix here. Nope, not that. There we go. So I like to have all my trays over here in one corner. Got my maps here, getting some rewards. I've got some email because I've been playing on the server for a little while, checking it out, making sure that it's playable. And I've gotten some rewards, which are nice. They give you the Patreon rewards and stuff, so I can collect those later on as I go along. We've got some account bound items and some character items, so that'll be nice. Be able to get some extra stuff later on. Don't need it right now. Want to go ahead and get things squared away first. So first things first, this is secondary mutation. It's an extra power that they've given us free of charge. So it lets you have secondary defenses and abilities and things like that. This particular one gives me increased, it's called Tough Eye, it gives me increased defenses. So that helps out. I like that. I get a power jump pack, which I really like. This one here lets you cast secondary increases on other individuals, so that's nice. Some of these I don't like. I'm not going to do defecation. Sorry, that's a bad word. Um, self-destruction. I don't want to blow up. And the shadowy presence, that one, we'll remove that from the tray as well. Remove this image of the, well, prestige. Yes, the power slide is going to be a travel power that we're going to use over on Homecoming. I'm able to get Ninja Run, which I like that one a lot better. But we don't have access to that yet here. I'm not sure when we'll be able to get that. We'll remove Sprint. This is the taser dart that comes with the technology, and what it does is it lets you go ahead, it gives you minor damage, and it holds the foe for a little bit. So just enough to maybe pop an inspiration or get out of the situation, or just enough to hold them so that your attack power recharges fast enough to do something fun and take them out. So let's see, what other powers do I have available to me? I have that. Oh, this guy here. So the leprechaun, when he's out and about, will give you 10% additional influence. So gained by 10% for you parties, fun stuff like that. These were added a little bit later in the game. There were also some other pets and things that were available earlier, drones that either gave you defense buffs and endurance recovery, or the other one was the red side, which gave you resistances, and I'm not sure what the secondary was on that, so I'll have to check it out in a little while. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. And I guess I should read these. Maybe not. Did I need to read it? Basically, it's introducing you to the location. So I'm talking to Officer Flint right now, and it gives you location on your compass up here at the top, and lets you go ahead and tell where people are that you need to talk to. And so this one here, he's going to send me off to get my first clue. And I'm going to go ahead and accept the task. And as you see, it popped up over here. Here's my indicator on my compass. So as long as I'm following that, I can go ahead. I'm going to turn on my travel power so I can go a little bit faster. And you'll also see it over here on the map. I'm supposed to deliver this to Dr. Miller. So I deliver that to Dr. Miller, and he says we need to interface with the sample to help him research immensely. Since I'm new to Paragon City, familiarize myself with the way the hospital works, which basically is when you are defeated in battle, you don't die in any of the City of Heroes. You get knocked out and you're automatically teleported to the hospital, or if you have a supergroup base, you can teleport to the supergroup base if they have a medical center there as well, and recover. So this one here, Metacom and defeat, and this just goes over what I just said, is it'll let you teleport as soon as it detects that you've been defeated. So we'll go ahead, clear that, and we're going to go ahead and go back to Officer Flint, and you'll see that up here. And we have our no clues yet. Okay, Officer Flint is going to say, wonderful, excellent job, and let's go ahead and on your map button and overhead on the thing there, we're going to be introduced to a new contact. So it's going to be Officer Parks, and we can see that he's way down there. And by selecting Officer Parks as the new contact, we receive task and information from him. So let's go ahead and head on down that way. And you can also see that it's indicated here on the map in the upper right hand corner as well. So I have really missed this game. When they took it off live several years back, it was really devastating. I had a lot of friends that were on online in our super group, and we really had a lot of fun running the missions, creating new characters, traveling between villains and heroes, and going rogue. There was a lot of fun stuff. So here Officer Parks is just discussing our powers down here, the power trays, and letting us see how we can go ahead and activate those or open them up so we can drag stuff down onto the trays if we'd like. And then asking about the mission to proceed. So things are getting out of control, and he'd just like us to go ahead and talk to Professor Hoffman, then Lieutenant Macready, so that we can go ahead and take a look at this. So Officer or Professor Hoffman, it tells us about the ranking. So there's when you're conning to a bad guy, they're going to either be gray, which means that the enemy is vastly weaker than us and probably will not give us experience, or definitely will not give us experience. When they're greens, it means that the enemy is 2 levels lower than us and worth a little bit of experience, which is fine. If a mission requires us to defeat so many villains, it doesn't matter if they're gray or green or blue, they'll still count. It's just a matter of you getting that experience. So as you get into blue, they're only 1 level weaker. The white names are the ones that are equal to us and will probably give us the normal amount of experience, allow us to battle it out a little bit without really being challenged. Yellows are going to be 1 level higher than us. They'll give us a little bit more experience, but it may take a little bit more to take them down. Orange names are 2 levels higher than us. Excuse me. And those guys will be a lot harder to attack, but they definitely will give us some additional experience. Red names are 3 levels higher than us. Definitely a hard fight, something you may or may not win, depending on your build, on your powers, what you're using as inspirations. And we'll get into inspirations more in a little bit. Definitely will be a very difficult fight. Purples will run when you see those guys. You don't want them to even be near you because they will be vastly out superior to you, and you definitely will lose unless you're in a team of 8 or more. I think the maximum is 8 anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Anyway, these guys will definitely be much more difficult, and you would not be able to attack them on your own because they definitely will wipe you out. It's kind of like run and hide if you can. So, and that basically tells you. Now you can also set. You'll see bosses and lieutenants that are a little more difficult, even on the same level as you. They have additional attack powers, different hit points, which means that they'll have more life. So, as opposed to a minion, minions are usually 3 minions you can take on. 2 lieutenants is going to be hard, and a boss, he's going to be the hardest in a mission or some kind of task that you need to defeat him. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to go on to the Lieutenant Macready, and he's just going to tell you how to target and how to attack the different things that are sitting here. So these are sample drones. They've been deactivated, and as you can see, these guys are conning orange, and then there's a couple of them that are conning purple, which means they're really hard to defeat. And let's see, we don't have any of them that are just white, do we? They're all a little bit harder than us. Okay, so we're going to go back to Officer Parks, and he's going to tell us that so the professor had considered the targeting, and with Macready we've learned about it. So now we're going to go and take down 2 contaminated thugs in the hot zone. And so it says up here at the top is our mission. I always like to select it so I can see what it is, and in case I zone out into another area, it keeps it active in my window here so I don't lose sight of where it's going to be. So it says defeat 2 thugs in the southwest. Okay, so that's this way over here. and you'll see that I'm heading west-southwest, and I've cleared the area and gotten into the zone, and I'm going to go ahead and grab these two guys. So this is my just a ring of fire, which immobilizes them. They can't move from that spot. It also does damage for a controller. And then the other power that I used was this one here. It's called Time Crawl, and it slows them down so they don't attack as often, and it weakens them a little bit too. And there we go. So controller attack powers are probably one of the slowest fights in City of Heroes, and it's because they can't do a lot of damage, but that's because they can hold their attackers, or the bad guys, they can hold them at a distance and then attack them that way. So it's going to take a little bit longer. We're going to slot them up for more damage and stuff like that as we go along. But yeah, the powers really take a while to defeat them. So he says, great job. As you can see up here, we just got some experience. That bar is moving. This is our health. This is our stamina. Stamina, or endurance, as they like to call it in City of Heroes, endurance, is your ability to attack and use your powers. And when you're all the way to the left-hand side, that means you have no stamina. You're not able to get your powers off. You're not able to defend yourself. If you're running what are called toggles, and you'll see those later on, they drop. So it's definitely your ability to protect and defend yourself. All right, so we're going to be introduced to a new contact, and that's going to be Sergeant Hicks. So we're going to come up here to Sergeant Hicks. Let's activate our travel power so we go a little bit faster. Yeah, we'll just keep going through the tutorial. It's a nice tutorial. It's the original tutorial for the most part. Although I remember it being a lot more crowded back then. So now he's going to be here talking with Sergeant Hicks about the inspirations. And inspirations are going to be those little, what we'd like to call candy. We pop our candy. And it's a temporary enhancement to our abilities. So accuracy, defense, damage. Break free is used if we're mezzed, meaning like another controller or a bad guy that uses control powers holds you or immobilizes you. It allows you to be able to break that and move around. So and you'll see those as we go along through this play. So he's telling us about that, and we're going to go ahead and ask him for additional information. And he's telling us that we need to get more of the bad guys here. So we're going to click here to receive the inspiration and continue on. So in this one, in this particular starting zone, we get both a damage inspiration and a healing inspiration. And they're the medium size. There's 3 levels. You have small, medium, and large, basically, and you'll see those as we go along. The larger the inspiration, the more you get out of it. So it's like and we'll take a look at those and compare them later on, but it goes up and gives you additional damage and additional accuracy and stuff like that. So this time we need to defeat 4 of these contaminated. So I'm going to hit him with the slow. There we go. Now I can use my taser if I'm a little bit closer, I guess. And see, it does a little damage, does a little There we go. But it doesn't hold them for very long. And we'll go ahead. Oh, we're out of range. Not by much, though. And there we go. We got the fourth one. It'll just take him a little bit to realize that he's unconscious. And there he goes. Alright. So now we can go back to Officer Hicks. Or Sergeant Hicks, excuse me. Okay, so that sound there says enhancements found. And what that does is it lets us open up the enhancements. And we can input it into our power. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So these are our powers with our slots. And this means that they're open right now. We can take an enhancement, and this is going to fill up. You have 7 trays available to you. There's 10 enhancements. Wait, 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. Yep, 10. I thought so. There's 10 enhancement slots. Excuse me. Where you can put storage. So that's up to 70 before you need to sell off or slot. So I can take this number 1. It's just a regular, all origins can use it, training enhancement. And they have the single origins, which are these that we have here. I mean, just the regular all origins. You have dual origins where you have to play with that technology in this case, and then there'll be a second one that'll be with it, like a natural or technology and science, that kind of stuff. So you can only use one that is geared towards your origin. And then you get later on SOs, which are single origins, which means I can only use technology. They come as magic, science, natural, or technology, and those would be the only ones that I can use. So in this case, I'm going to add it up here to my attack power. It's going to increase the damage by 8.3%. Yes, I do want to do that. So now my damage, the base is 10, and I'm doing 10.84 average damage. Okay, so we'll go ahead and leave, and then we need to come down here. It says, as part of my mission, learn about enhancements, and this talks about all of those that we were talking about, the levels. Even level is your current level. They can go 3 levels higher or 3 levels lower, and then after that you cannot use it. So anything that's lower than 4 levels below your current level, and you'll see that up here, I'm level 1 in this little display up here, and they'll turn red, meaning that you can no longer gain any benefits from it. So you need to replace them, you need to upgrade them. You can take them out altogether, it doesn't matter, and remove them around. When you get additional enhancements, you can do what's called combining them, and those will let you get an additional level out of it. So I have level 1, you put another level 1, and now it makes it a level 2, and which would show as I believe here it's a 1+ or 2+, that kind of thing. And then that means that you're just that inspiration, that enhancement is 1 level higher than you, so you're going to get a little bit better damage out of it. You're going to get a little bit better healing out of it, or recovery. So, and then they have invented enhancements, and that will happen later in the game. Apparently once you reach level 10, you'll start getting recipes, and you'll start getting salvage that you use in the recipes to build. So it's a lot of fun. Alright, we're going to be introduced to a new one, and then it just tells us about that additional, and manage it right there. So see here, and now I've gotten a second one. It's an 8.3, it's an even level to mine, but once I move it up here, it's going to ask me to combine them. I'm going to say sure, and now I have a 1+, and see, now I went from the 8.5 to 8.7 on the enhancement, so I get a little additional damage, which is good. I'm going to be introduced to Coyote, And he's going to give us our final mission here. And it looks like my mutation is worn off, my secondary mutation. I'm going to go ahead and activate it. And this time I got acute senses. So it's going to give me additional defense, additional perception, and additional accuracy. So I'm going to hit a little more often. Not much, but hopefully I'm not going to miss as much. So Coyote, available missions, and it just finished a job that we started. And this one is just going to go ahead and we're going to learn how to exit a door mission. And a door mission is when you get to go into your own personal area within the game. You're not out in the general public, and therefore anything that you're doing in that only affects you or your teammates as you're in there. So let's go ahead and accept that. And off we go to find Flower Knight and help her out. And close that out. And there she is over there. I'm going to select the task and off we go. So now I can also use my jetpack here. I have a keybind. Up it comes and off we go. And it just gets you up and over in case there's bad guys that are high level in the zone and you don't want to have to try to sneak around them or run into them. You can use different travel powers to get over them. That's a temporary power, that jetpack. So let's go ahead and go inside. Now we're going to lose any pets that we have operating. So you can see my leprechaun, he has disappeared, but you just resummon him. And then we can go ahead. These guys are obviously a little bit stronger than us. And they missed. Okay, let's go ahead and get this one. Okay, and now he's down. And we just saved her. Thank you for saving me, Temporal Flame. Yes, you're welcome. Alright, now she'll help us with the rest of the guys. I don't know how well. They have to be in closer range, so... And we'll just take out this one. We'll set this one on. Just kind of let him sit there. See, can we reach? We can't. Got that one out. Got that one. So if I bring her up closer, she won't do anything. Okay. So now we have objectives in this mission. It says find the formula and defeat all thugs. That's what the mission is. This is called a glowy. This particular desk, this is the object that we are to interface with and interact with to complete part of the mission or the entire mission. So in this case, you just left mouse click on it and you're searching the computer and you'll see that you have completed that, and we found a clue. So Flower Knight has joined you, and this is the formula Dr. Miller needs to revise or reverse the Riddicky mutation drug. So we found that, and we just need to defeat the rest of the guys here in the mission. And we'll go ahead, come up here. And there's usually 3 evens. That's usually the max that you can handle. And now we're going to go ahead. She's going to join us as far as helping us, and she should fight. And see, she just took care of that one. Hey, we leveled. Love that sound. Okay, so now we just leveled to level 2, and as Coyote told us, once we're done with the mission, we'll get the exit up here in the compass. So we're going to go ahead and exit out. And that just lets us leave the door mission. And we'll lose our leprechaun, and then of course Flower Knight will not be with us, and we need to go back to Coyote. So if you don't know where he is, if he's not showing up here, you can click on him and it will go ahead and tag him. You'll now see that little direction, and you'll see him over here in the screen and how far away he is from you. So we'll go back to Coyote, and he's going to take us up to Miss Liberty and into Paragon City and the starting zone of the city, which will be Atlas Park. So we're going to go ahead, talk to Coyote. Fantastic. The formula for Dr. Miller. We can finally end the nightmare. And then it says visit Miss Liberty in Atlas Park. So we're going to click on that, and he's going to send us there. And we just completed our tutorial, which is really nice. So I'm going to level up, and then I'm going to introduce us to our first contact. And we'll see from there. Different origins have different contacts, and then as you move along, you'll have shared contacts for higher missions. So it just says, welcome to Atlas Park. All heroes should talk to Matthew. He's over there. That's the new story arc. I don't like that as much as the old story arcs, but we can override that particular mission if we want to. So hit OK. I have enough experience to go to level 2, so see Miss Liberty. She's right at the top of the staircase there. Yep. Now this is the, if you need help, help me. If I'm a helper, I can help others. I usually check none for now. You'll still see the chats going on down here in the chat buttons and people needing help. So we'll go ahead, talk to Miss Liberty. We're going to get our second power. We're going to train up, and she just tells you you can go ahead, and at level 2 you'll also gain the fitness and the rest powers, and that will help us out tremendously. It'll give us additional health, additional endurance. So here's my 2 main powers: time manipulation and fire control. I'm going to go for Char next. That's my hold. And the reason I like to go with this is because combined together, you get additional damage called containment. So it helps the controller take bad guys down faster because they are able to achieve containment, which is a hold and immobilize at the same time, or, together at the same time, experiencing that. And that way, the bad guy will be damaged a lot more. So let's go ahead and select that. Okay, we have no enhancements at this time, so away we go. And she's just saying we need to gain another 333 more experience points to get to level 3. So, and there's security levels is what they call them. So this little character right here will sell us the enhancements, and you can see we have 5, 10, and 15 basic enhancements, or training enhancements, and of course we don't have the influence right now. We have 0 influence, and you can see the prices at the different levels. So the only ones that are available to us will be in green, which are the level 5. And that's because we can only go up 3 levels higher than us. So that's the contact they want us to talk to, but we want to come in here to our technology. And I get the science and technology guys confused, so let's see. So we're in City Hall, and this is where we can set up the supergroup information later. You can't make a supergroup until level 10, but you can join it at level 1 if you already have one. So this one is, I think, Susan? Yes. Let me just make sure. Yes. Okay. Yes, this is the one. And so this is going to be our the old trainer from when the game first launched. We have several trainers that we could talk to. Speak with Detective Brogan, excuse me, about the Skull's attack. So let's go ahead and accept that mission, and we'll go ahead and leave. We'll set that one. All right. So over here is Magi. So if you're magic, you would go ahead and talk to Azura. This one down here is scientific experiments. You would talk to Joseph St. John Smythe. He would give you missions. This, oh, well, maybe this is the guy I'm supposed to talk to. Ew. Let's see. Oh, I went to the wrong one. Okay, so let's go ahead, select this mission. Well, we'll get a couple of missions going. What the heck? Excuse me just a second. I need to clear my throat here real quick. There, that didn't take that long. Okay. So this is the guy I was supposed to talk to. See, I get them mixed up. So I need to retrieve the data from Sarah Peters, and we'll do that. Okay. So we got 2 missions that we're going to, and then this last one is for the gifted. This is the natural trainer there. So that's the science. Enhanced logistics. I got to figure out which one that is, because there's like 5 origins that you can pick from. All right, so before we go running on to a next mission, we're just going to go ahead and park ourselves right here. City Hall is one of the rest areas, and so you always want to park in a rest area, because what happens is you'll gain rested experience, and with that rested experience, you'll have 1.5 to 2 times the not infamy, that's the one that the bad guys earn. So let's see. Yeah, XP, total XP earned. So we earned 110. Needed is 333 to get to level 3. So not too shabby. All right, well, thank you very much. This has been Pan's Folly, and this is our introductory guide to the solo controller, and hopefully we'll get to see you next time.